So we better get it rolling. Carlos Garcia is all over us to get started. Charles, you got the wintry background over there, my friend. Is it wintry in your neck of the woods?
Yeah, getting some flurries, if you want to call it that.
Mm-hmm.
So
well, Charles is in today.
That background in.
As you can see, for Terry, Charles will be on his way out Wednesday and Thursday. So Terry will take that in there. Terry will be we're flipping this week is what I'm trying to say in English. Hopefully I get that right. Before we get rolling on today's picks at Parx, first up on the day's card, free track today at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. This upcoming week will be kind of a slow week of racing for sure as we head into the Christmas holiday next week. But Delta Downs is free today. Consider an early gift at 2:55 p.m. Eastern. So they're starting a little bit early today. Cha-Cha to Catalina is our first pick. There is a link to that down in the description below. So, Charles, you're ready to do what we came here for today. That was to deliver some presents, hopefully, today in the form of winning picks at Parx.
That's right.
So what's happening in the first race?
70 yards, that first race. Oh, we're on a delay here. Okay, mile and 70 yards at the first race. Claiming price is $7,500. Non-winners of 3 lifetime. This is for 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 3 races.
All right. Well, hopefully we're not too badly delayed and we catch back up with one another. At 1 mile and 70 yards, the bias for the Parx track favors early speed. 28% of the time they go wire to wire. Kind of a small inside to outside bias. Charles, we do 1,000 simulations using speed figures to calculate how many times the horse scored the maximum speed figure. In other words, won that race. And we look for what we consider fair odds. We hope that our simulation odds are lower than post-time odds. Using those simulations, 1,000 times, how many times the result was at par or better for this level. This level's par figure, as you can see on the Brisnet sheets there, is 74. So over half the time, the 1 and the 4 managed that accomplishment. Early speed, using pace to figure out who's got the best chance to be on the lead. And then based upon that projected pace, how comfortable or how much this race will mirror past winning or best performances. Charles, who's going to get the lead here, my man? Looks like one has a good shot.
Well, the rest. Yeah, the 5 has the best shot at getting the lead at 74% chance. And you know what? I see that happening. But, you know, I think there's enough in here to keep him honest. We won't get a big lead, I don't think. When it comes to simulation odds, we have the 1 slightly over even money. We have 2.5 to 1 morning line. There's a nice little overlay. We have the 4 just slightly under even money, and we have almost 2 to 1 on morning line. So another little overlay here in the first race.
Yeah, looking at the par plus figure, you get 2 horses in here, the 1 and the 4. They look like they have the best chance to go over par, though the 7 does have a little bit of a crack at that. Early speed-wise, Charles, you got to like this combination when you see it. Horse that has a strong chance to be on the front and will be comfortable up in that part of the race. How you doing, Mass 70? Good to see you today. Well, in addition to all of our simulations, we like to take a look at what the race shape looks like, or pace handicapping as it's called. In this race, you can see most of the horses are slanted towards the front. You have 3 that want to be on the front. You have the 7 horse, the Sesame Street horse in here, along with the 3. That can be on the front or co-pilot. 1 and 2 want a co-pilot. The PC types can really be anywhere on the track. The most versatile horse in horse racing. C are your closers. The NC's never within 5 lengths of the winner in up to the last 10 races. And, of course, first-time starters. The lot of early speed, Charles, I would look for the speed of the speed. That looks like the 5, about 1.5 length advantage over the rest of the field based upon recent performances. And the late speed, the 1 horse, Fast Mule, will be a fast mule at the very end of the race. Charles, in our total pace numbers, looks like you got 2 of them in here. Well, 3 of them that stand out above the rest. The 1, the 4, and the 7, they stand probably about 1 3/4 lengths better than the rest of the field. So maybe the 1, the 4, and the 7, put those 3 together, get yourself an exacta box. What do you think?
Well, I did the top 2, the 1 and the 4, the 4 and the 1, I should say. Exacta. Ice cold here. I'm taking the 4 on top. Ice cold just to do with this nice snowy weather, as some of my friends out there would say it's so snowy. But the 4 here ran second last time out. Tactical speed, well bet last time. Pennington stays on this horse, so I think there's a lot of pluses to this horse. The 1 horse ran second last time out. Well bet. Trainer gets 31% first time after the claim. Another one that kind of has that tactical speed could sit there right there, real close. Then there's that 5, the speed of the race. Be out there winging it for a while. Hot jockey last 7 days. Blinkers come off and does get a weight break of 5 pounds. And then that 7, like we said, another one that could sit pretty close to the pace. Ran second last time. Totally fits with this group, but I'm going ice cold, saying just what Danny Jackson there is saying. It's snowing outside.
So you're on the snowball ice cold, exactly.
That's right.
I think you might have been wise to box them, Charles, because I have the fast mule. I mean, come on, a fast mule. Where do you get a fast? I mean, it's Christmas time. Mules, right?
Mule.
This one just missed at its level last time out and showed better 2 and 4 furlong pace numbers. I think you're going to see that one closer to the front today. The 4 horse, if the 1 doesn't win, the 4 will be right there too. Drops in class after finishing second. It was the 1-5 favorite in that race, Charles. So burned up a whole lot of people's money in that one and regressed a little bit. That was my concern, was the regression. The 7 horse, Amalfi Lady, upped its speed figure in the last 3 races. If you haven't bought your gifts yet for the horse player in your family, I would consider Barry Meadows' book, The Skeptical Handicapper. Tons of stats in there. One of them is 3 consecutive speed figures in a row, wins at more than 15%. It's an alpha angle in my view. And this horse last time out improved its fractions by about 1.5 seconds. That's a pretty good improvement. Finally, So Softly does have plenty of early pace, did show some improvement in the last start, and maybe we see that continuation here. I'm going to do a $2 double. I think the 1, the 4, the 7 wins, and then I'm going to single up the 5 on the back end for a sort of ice cold of some sorts in there. Christopher D'Souza likes the 7 horse, Amalfi Lady, with the 1 and the 3 in his exacta and trifecta box. And like Carlos, like Danny, like Cersei, like Mass 70, like Christopher, if you have any ideas or thoughts that you want to share at other tracks today, just about what's going on in your neighborhood, questions for Charles and I. Charles has been a trainer. He's been a bloodstock agent. He's done a lot of stuff. If you have any, general questions about horse racing, he can help you. Any handicapping questions you want to ask me?
Oh, geez. There you go.
All right. So how long do we have the race number 1? We still
I got 1 minute. That track does look well. It looks like it's been raining there. It's pretty good. So
yeah, it's pretty sloppy, the track for sure. Let's try to run through race 2 real fast, Charles. What do you say?
Okay, let's go for it. Okay, race number 2, 7 furlongs, claiming price of 12.5, non-winners of 3, lifetime. Purse is $23,000. This is for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 3 races.
Yes, 7 furlongs does favor stalkers. 29% that go wire to wire. Has the biggest, what I would say, post position bias from the inside to the outside. Although the last time we saw a sloppy track at Parx, horses on the inside struggled a little bit. The horses that came off the pace and were outside won. Charles, in race number 2, who has all the early speed?
Well, it looks like that 5 has all the speed. It's about 74% chance of having that. I don't know. I mean, it probably does in my book, but I don't think it's going to get away with an easy lead also. There's a couple others that could stick real close. When it comes to simulation odds, let me see. Do we have anything? Oh, the 5 itself. Look, just slightly over even money. We've got 3.5 to 1 morning line. That's a nice little overlay. The 7, slightly under 4 to 1, and you got 12 to 1 morning line. And it looks like they're in the gate for the first.
Ready to rock and roll. So let's go back to race number 1. We'll come back to race number 2 to clean that up when race number 1 is done. Well, let's see. There's still a couple horses to get in there. So I can probably go ahead and get this part done, and we'll just get back to our picks. Looking at the race shape for race number 2, you got 3 that want to be on the front. Most of them want to be middle back. So early speed, forward placement probably works pretty well in race number 2. We mentioned that a couple of horses had a bunch of early speed. You got the 2, the 4, and the 6. Ratified might not be there, Charles, but does have by far the best late pace in that race. 2 lengths better than everybody else. Also scores about 2 lengths better than everybody else in the total pace. So 5 runs right off the pace, perhaps runs by him at the end. And now they're running in race number 1, Charles, and away they go. Pretty even start there. It does look like the 5 horse in there so softly, as we thought Mike got the lead. I'd say he got the lead relatively easily, Charles, too.
Yeah.
He's probably about 2 lengths ahead of the next closest horse, which is the 6 horse on the outside, Bohemia Babe. The 1 horse down on the rail there is in, and now it's moved into second. And they're probably around 3 lengths off of that 5 horse as they go through the turn, and 22-1. So probably a little bit on the quick side, I'd say, Charles, in the opening race for a mile. And I'd say way too fast for that 5 horse. He's going to have to really slow it down. Then you got the 2 horse. That one's in 4th, moving to the outside, Charles. The 4 is on the rail. The 7 horse is right now probably around 5-6 lengths off the lead. And then way back, 3 horse. They did manage to run a 25-second second half as they go 47-1. Though everybody else is kind of closing in on that 5 horse as it starts to tire. Does look to me like right now the 1 horse is moving the best. The 7 horse, Charles, is he's way back there. The 4 horse now, it's making its move up outside the 2. It looks to me like this race is going to come down to the 1 or the 5. 4 horse is trying to make its move. The jockey's trying to corral that horse. He's going to be coming late. I think he probably does get second as the 5 is kind of coming up the track a little bit. But the 1 horse is an easy winner here, Charles. He's going to run away from this pack by about 6 lengths, 7 lengths right now.
I'm going to guess about 8, 9 right now.
Yeah, the jockey's not asking for any more. He's gearing down.
Oh, he won by 5 or 6.
1, 4, 5, 7. 1, 4, 5, 7. Damn, Charles, a little bit off.
Yeah, just a little off.
Super effective.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, and the 1 horse went off at 1-2, Charles. Would have been happier if the 4 horse.
Yeah, I mean, I have a feeling that today is going to be a pretty much chalk day at Parx.
Well, the 4 was the morning line favorite. I guess a bunch of money really liked that 1 horse there today. Well, there you go, Charles.
Because Paco, they jumped on Paco there on the last minute, I guess.
Yeah, they poured in on Paco, my friend.
Can't go wrong with Paco board, right?
Not over there. Hello, Loby. How are you today, my friend? Good to see you again. Been a while, Aloy. Baloloy. I hope I got that right. Probably not, but I did my best. All right, for race number 2, Charles, we are going to go to our picks now. Since we ran through all the prelims, now we get to the good stuff.
All right. Well, I like the 5. I think this horse could even be tactical if someone else does get the lead, but I think the 5 will. It won last time out. Ness gets 30% when he drops him off a win. That's a very good number. So I think this horse is going to be very tough to beat in this race. The 2 is my second choice. Second start after a layoff, and the trainer gets 19% with that angle. Another one that sits there probably about second or third and makes one big run. And this horse is also dropping in class today, so makes him very dangerous. And then the 4 drops in class today, ran second last time out. Trainer gets 15% with 46 plus days of rest and gets the same percentage first after a claim. So got to look at that horse a little bit at least. And then the 3 is my final pick, drops in class, hot trainer last 14 days. Looks like it totally fits with this group. I'm going to do a $10 win on the 5, and then a small pick 4, where this is a hot dog pick 4.
That's not even a hot dog, Charles. It's a bag of like 25-cent Frito-Lays.
It's very small, but I just think it's going to be chalk today. So that's why I was right, especially the first half of the day at least.
Well, I think there's some prohibitive, likely favorites in the back half of the card too. 5 horse ratified. We talked about the 5 horse back here, the ratified. It's a left arrow horse in my opinion. Here you see it's got a pretty good shot to get to the lead, so it should be forwardly placed to here. Has a +9 total pace edge, and most of that comes from the late speed. 2 length difference compared to the rest of the field, so should be close to the front, probably sits second or third, and then as they come around that corner, fires up the jets and takes that simulation favorite status to the winner's circle. Number 2, Creative Copy, just like Charles, my second choice, and it's going to run at the lowest level of its career, with a chance to be better, probably about the same in the second start after a layoff. Old Head, the 4-horse, third choice for me. This horse has a bullet 2 works ago. I call those back bullet workouts between starts. This one's got a little bit of time off, so this technically a first after a layoff. Runs pretty good first after a layoff, but what's interesting to me is that Old Head has won 2 races. Both of them were at 7 furlongs. That kind of oddball. Is it a sprint? Is it a route? And then finally, Bunny Bonus, the 6-horse, is taking a pretty aggressive drop in class here, Charles. Back to a level where the last time she ran, not only did she run, but she ran away from the pack by 9 1/4 lengths. So perhaps the step back in class is useful there. Philadelphia, first race results. Okay, Rita Patel. First race, the 1-horse was your winner. The 4-horse was your second place winner, if you will. The third place was the 5, So Softly. And then the 7-horse, Amalfi Lady, came in third. The $1 exacta, 1-4. If you played that for $1, surprisingly, you got $3.30 back. I think that's considering a 1-2 over to 2-1 and everybody else being 10-1 or better. That's actually surprising. 50-cent try, 145, paid $6.25, and the 10-cent superfecta, which we just missed ice cold, paid $3.75, Charles.
Yep.
So really, you didn't really pay for a whole lot of gifts with that one.
No, not really.
Not even a stocking stuffer. Well, maybe like
my stocking stuffer, because I usually get cold. So
deservedly.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Every now and then we find something we can agree on.
Well,
race number 3, Charles.
Race number 3. We have 6.5 furlongs. Claiming price of $7,500. Non-winners of 1 in a year. Purse is $20,000. You got 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won a race since September the 18th.
At 6.5 furlongs, your profile of a winner favors early speed. In fact, Tony Dorsett, 99 yards versus Minnesota, longest run from scrimmage ever in NFL. 33% of the time they go wire to wire. Post positions 1 through 3, a little bit of a small bonus. 4 through 7, a little bit of discount. 8 plus, also a little bit of a small bonus, Charles. So some inside speed or some outside speed could do you some good. Looks like most of the speed is kind of to the outside.
Yeah, I mean, the 5 at 53% chance of getting that lead. But look out for that 7. The 7's got some speed too at 45%. So, I actually think they both have an excellent shot at getting the lead, and I think they will battle each other for a while. When it comes to simulation odds, we have the 1 even money, and you have 2-1 morning line, which is not too bad. And then we have the 5 at 3-1, and it's 8-1, 6-1,
8-1, sorry,
8-1 morning line, and that's what we have.
Yeah, and then look at these par plus numbers. You got 4 of the 7 horses with a good chance to score par or better for this level. As far as the C zone is concerned, look at that, the 4 and the 5. So the 1 horse that does seem to check off the most boxes in here, as our friend Terry would say, top C zone horse, top early pace horse. Looks like the second best horse in terms of par plus and an overlay. Satchel de Riches. Could be one that you want to consider, maybe wheeling exactas and trifectas with. As far as your pace set up for this race, you see the 7 and the 5 over here by themselves. Everybody else is kind of middle and back, although the PC types do have some flexibility in their running style. So if the 7 and 5 can get out, get forward, and indeed it looks like they will, about 3/4 of a length quicker than the rest of the field, they should be exactly sitting 1-2, depending upon who wants to take the lead. Late speed belongs to Super Flyover, along with the George Thorogood horse, Bad. Those 2 are considerably faster than everybody else coming down the lane. They also grade out as your top 2 horses, 8 points clear of the rest of the field. So the 2 closers, they can stay close, Charles. They can maybe run away with this race at the end. What do you think?
Well, I do. Yeah, I think it's a tough race. I do like the 1 as a closer. This one won last time out. Hot jockey last 7 days. Does move up in class, but the trainer gets 22% first after a claim. So a lot of positive things for that 1 there. I kind of like a pace horse second. The 3 if you toss out its last race, look out, because this horse does have tactical but can close. And guess who's aboard? It's Paco.
Paco. And you
Paco.
cannot write off Paco. But he's not
Never.
going to win them all today, Charles. I mean, I probably just put him.
No. I mean,
He's probably going to go 9 of 9 or 10 of 10 today.
yeah, something like that. And the 2, another one there that we just finished talking about, ran second last time. Trainer gets 25%, 90 plus days of rest. So you got a very fresh horse. This is also another horse that'll be closing. And then my final pick here, the 6, probably the price horse of the whole group. Ran third last time out, second start after a layoff. Another one I'll be closing at the end. But I'm leaning towards the top 2, which I put in the exacta box, 1, 3. But, don't really discard, the other 2, the 2 and the 6, I don't think.
I'm going to go just like you, bad. Increased its speed figure in the last 4. We talked about why that's important. And last time out, this horse was 2 seconds faster almost than it was in the prior start. I mean, that's really an indication the horse is fit, right? It's going to be in peak form. Satchel de Riches. I mean, it's everything is in the last part there. Riches does have plenty of early speed, should be contending for the front. Better fractions in its last race, much like the one horse, and going to drop in class. So that should actually speed that horse up a little bit relative to the rest. Super Flyover. I wanted to put this guy a little bit higher, perhaps, but been off since July. So he took the summer and fall off. Came back in the snow. He's probably like, what the hell is this? Last time the horse came off, similar layoff, it ran third. So we'll stick him right there in third, following a trio of okay works. Nothing really that stood out there to me. Finally, Mischievous Juan, that 6 horse did run the top last race, speed figure, and its resume says the second off the layoff, probably 60% better, 40% or a little bit regression. I have a 50-cent trifecta, 1, 2, 5 over the 1, 5 over the 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6, and I probably regret not putting Paco in there instead of the 4. You know what? I'm going to change it right now, Charles.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to do it, Charles.
There it is.
Do it. Yes. It's a guaranteed. Just, folks, right now, I'm telling you, forget everything Charles and I said about race number 3. Forget anything that you see in the program. Just go out with all the money you can afford to lose and throw it on the 4, right? Cousin Andrew.
Oh, my.
Race number 3, Christopher D'Souza taking the 5, 6, and 7 with the 7 on top in a 5, 6, 7, 5, 6 exacta and trifecta box. Was it Cousin Andrew the one that kind of like got in trouble? Is that him or no? Yeah, wasn't he the one that flew off to the island?
That sounds very familiar. I think you might be
I don't want to. I don't want to. I'm not saying for sure because I certainly don't want the weight of the royal family coming down on me.
You know what? Just go out there and say it is a fact. Let's bring it on. Bring him on.
Yeah, it was him that said it. Right. So when the men in black suits show up and Charles is here no more, you know why. All right.
Yeah.
Race number 4, Charles. While you're still with us, my friend.
Yeah.
Here.
Race number 4 in this blizzard of a day. Come on, people. It's not snowing. 6 furlongs, claiming price of $10,000. Purse is $26,000. This is for fillies, mares, 3-year-olds and upward, which have not won a race since September the 18th. Claiming prices for that's it, or which never won 4 races.
Catildi, I'm guessing this means hello in Turkish. Is that right, guys? Let us know if that's exactly, because we've got a couple of these in here, Catildis in here today. So I'm guessing our Turkish, we're in Turkey today. I imagine it's not raining there, Charles, snowing in Turkey. I'm guessing that means hi, folks. If I'm right about that. Or
they're calling us idiots, one of the two.
Yeah, well, probably one's more accurate than the other. All right, 6 furlongs, Charles, does favor tactical speed. Stalkers do pretty well. 37% of the time, though, if you get to the front, you stay on the front and you win. Post positions 1 through 7, they play mostly fair, Charles. You do get a little bit of a bonus if you're on the outside. So do we have any speed on the outside? It looks like pretty much any of them, if they get on the gas, can get the lead.
The 4 possibly is going to get the lead. Now with the main speed being scratched out, both of them, the 4 has an 18% chance. You got the 3 with 13 or 14% chance. So, I mean, it really depends who breaks the best. It's probably going to be sent out to get that lead. When it comes to simulation odds, we have, yep, the 8, 5-1, 10-1 morning line. There's an overlay there. So, yeah.
Yeah, and then the 8 also scores as the second best to have a shot at the par or better. 1 out of 5 races. 1 out of 3 for Flashing Diamond would be better than the par number for this level, which is an 82. Not a bad number. As far as our C zone, the 1 horse Pearls and Heels and the 7 horse Bravo Zulu. So looking at this board here, Charles, you can make a case for a lot of horses to win this race. In race number 4, a couple of things stand out to me in the pace. You have 2 Sesame Street horses, the 7 Bravo Zulu and the 1 Pearls and Heels. They're different than the others. Really nobody that's lead dependent is the 5, 6, and 10. They can go to the lead or they can pressure. Looks like the 6 horse Sizzling Roma, along with Bravo Zulu, Pontiffany. I mean, they're all right there, Charles. And from here to here, you're talking about a misstep. So again, much like we saw in the simulations, anybody's guess, but these 3 probably, one of those will probably be your pace setter. As they're coming home, running Redbird, Illinois State, or Miami of Ohio, perhaps. That one has the most late speed. Flashing Diamond right in there too, which should be in front of running Redbird. So should have the tactical advantage on the track. Total pace figures, the 10 horse and this 3 horse and the 6, they're all about a length better than the rest of the field, Charles. So maybe some value in some of those horses. What do you think?
It could. I mean, I really do think this race is, you could take a dart and throw it and hit the board and hit the page and probably pick the winner that way. Drops in class, the 4 does. If you toss that last race out, this horse does have speed, to steal this race if he does get the lead. Cuts back in distance, so that's why this horse is my top choice. But I have to admit, the 3 ran second last time. Well bet the last 2 times. Pennington is aboard, which that's another jock that you got to look out for here at this track. The 5 won last time out. You got tactical speed with this 5. Definitely, it moves up in class, but I mean, it won last time, so why not move up in class? The 7, another one that could sit second or third pretty much throughout the whole race. The trainer gets 21% with 46 plus days of rest, but this trainer also gets 31% first after a claim. And guess who's riding that horse?
Paco Lopez.
That's right.
He's going to win every race today. Hey, Terry
He's
might not be with us
got
today. Yeah, well, I mean, if he gets to the lead, he's not going to let you pass him. Terry joining us as well by email. I have his picks here too. He likes the 3, the 4, the 7, and the 9 in race number 4. I like the 3 horse, like Terry, is my top choice in here. Flashing Diamond ran the top last race speed figure, slightly faster early fractions, and is our sim favorite and the horse that has the best chance to get above par. Running Redbird, most late pace by a little bit over to the 3 horse. And in this race, I don't think anybody's going to be far off the lead. Sizzling Roma, the 6 horse, ran better fractions in a wire-to-wire win in her last race. And if you look through the past performance, this is a horse that goes boom, 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 nothing, 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 wins and then wins again. So it tends to run well in bunches. And then, as you mentioned, Paco Lopez on Bravo Zulu has plenty of early speed. Going to drop in class here. Charles, 3, 6, 10 over to 3, 10 over to 3, 5, 6, 7, and 10 because Paco can't win them all, man.
No, but he definitely has live mounts today.
He always has live mounts at Parx, though, right?
I guess that's true, too.
This should be an interesting race number 5.
Oh, yeah. When you got a mile 16th, maiden claiming for 10,000, purse 19,000. This is for 3-year-olds and upward. Yeah, this is another one that'd probably be wide open.
Yeah, this is, if there's ever a time to use big words like all, this might be the race to do it, I would think. At a mile and a 16th, Charles, what you're looking at is stalkers do well. 30% of the time, my high school football number go wire to wire. The post positions, the rail is fair. So out on the town, should get a clean trip. 2 and 3 get a little bit of a bonus. 4 through 7, they get whack-a-mole, Charles, with that rubber hammer. Bang, bang, bang. They get knocked back. A big penalty for those horses. And on the outside of those, 8 and out, that's the best place to be because they get a big bonus. So if you got a little bit of outside speed in race number 5, you got a shot, but it sure looks like that won't be out there. It'll be middle in.
Yeah, the 4, 75% chance of getting the lead at the quarter pole. I believe that to be true, and I think going to be tough to catch because of the way this track's set up today and everything like that. I think this one's going to be tough to catch today, even though it's a maiden. But we got
maiden 10. I mean, anything could happen, Charles.
Yeah, true. But simulation odds, we have the 1 slightly under 2 to 1. We have 5 to 1 morning line. We have the 4 itself slightly over even money. We have 2 to 1 morning line, and that is it.
Yeah, and the 1 and the 4 are the only two that have a chance, according to their simulations, to go above par. C-Zone, you got the 5 and 6 look like they'll be really comfortable with how they're racing here. Just look at all these numbers across here on the 4 horse. It looks to me on paper here, at least statistically, the 4 is absolutely the one to beat. Hopefully he doesn't go off at 1 to 2 like the 1 did in the first race. We also see a race that just really slants to the right. You got the 4 horse as the lone E. We think he's going to be on front. Everybody's looking for lone speed. You got some with the 4 horse, at least where he wants to be. 1 and 3 want to pressure. So far, the 2, 5, 8, and 10 in their limited lifetime have not finished within 5 lengths of the winner. So they haven't been close so far, Charles. Early speed does belong to the 4, although he's going to get a little company from the 1 and the 7. So the 1 out on the town could make it difficult for the 4 to clear. And if he does, might make the race a little bit more difficult for that 4. Late speed, the 8 horse, Birthday Bond Rob, about a length quicker than everybody else, and really probably mid-pack when the race gets started. Out on the town, and look at Whiskey Pride, that 4 horse kind of tailing off a little bit, but he does jump back up in to the total pace. You got 3 horses. The 1, the 8, and the 4 are 7, so more than a length better than the rest from a total pace. 1, 8, 4 is your exacta trifecta box. According to total pace, Charles, what do you think?
I'm calling wire to wire with the 4. That's what I'm calling. This horse ran 3rd the last 2 times, drops in class today. Ness gets 31% when he takes him from a sprint to a route. And, yeah, good luck trying to catch this horse, basically. I just don't, like you said, if it gets down to 3 to 5 or 4 to 5, somewhere around there, it'd be like, it's a hard pill to swallow for just on a maiden, 10,000. The 1 is my second choice. Ran even last time, gets 5 pounds off today. The jockey is hot the last 7 days, well bet last time. So that makes that horse a little bit dangerous, I believe. The 2 drops in class. You got a hot trainer last 14 days. 3rd start after a layoff on that horse. So this horse could be in the thick of things, especially at the end. The 10, first time Lasix, bred for this. Looks like it totally fits with this group. But if that 4 gets loose too much, see you later.
Well, Terry thinks the 4 is going to get loose. He has it as his top pick as well. He also has the 2 horse, McMagic, as his second choice. Number 1 out on the town is the 3rd choice. And then 8 horse, Birthday Bond Rob gets the 4th call from Terry. I like the 4 horse here too. Probably going to go off really low odds. Is that lone E horse? I mean, the race really should favor his running style. Class dropper, last time out, ran a Z pattern, so his early pace number was here, dropped off a little bit in the middle, built up at the top. I'll show you real quick on the screen here. You'll see early pace 79, then dropped to 70, and then he got himself a second wind 76. That works out sometimes to the winner's circle. I mean, nothing. I wish I could find a 100% angle. Number 1, out on the town, second choice, just like for Charles. We agree on the trifecta there. One of the most lightly raced horses in the field, and last time out ran about a second faster, so continued space overhead for improvement. McMagic, top last race speed figure, going to drop in class. Very consistent performer. A horse that so far has shown a high floor but a low ceiling, so really compact. You're going to have to beat it, but I don't know how much upside that one has. And then finally, the 8 horse. This one might have the most upside in the field with only 2 races so far, so maybe we haven't seen the best yet from Birthday Bond Rob. trifecta again for me: 1, 2, 4 over the 1, 4 over the 1, 2, 4, 7, and 8. And our friend Christopher D'Souza believes this is the race of the day for him. $20 to win. And his bet of the day, the 1 horse out on the town with the 4 and the 8 in exacta and trifecta box. How long do we have to this race up here, Charles? We're always going to be like, it's like here in Chicago, when you're coming up to the red light from the, like, so it's green and it turns yellow and then it goes red. We have those stupid cameras everywhere. So if you run through the red light, right, you're going to get the ticket. And by law, I think that the shortest the yellow light can be is 8 seconds. I think they're about 4, to be honest with you. Maybe they use a really fast timer. But what's funny is when you get out to the suburbs, you can tell who lives in the city and who lives in the suburbs, because in the suburbs, they have a normal yellow light. So they're not trying to screw everybody out of every last penny. So you get to the suburbs and all the people from the city, as soon as the light turns yellow, they're hitting their brakes, right? And all the suburban people are used to the longer yellow lights, and they're going by, they're honking the horn, they're flipping you off. And it's actually kind of funny. But in any case, that's what seems like to me today with post times and us going from race to race. Well, we'll stick with race number 2.
Well, there's some tracks way worse than others. Let's put that away.
It's just our timing is not matching up today. That's all.
Yeah, I know. Mm-hmm. But it would be great if they had kept on their time too sometimes.
Mm-hmm. So while we have a moment, again, you and I will be back for Parx tomorrow. We'll start about 10 minutes before post. Wednesday, Terry and I will do Tampa Bay Downs. Thursday, we'll do Gulfstream Park. Friday, not sure what Tom and I are going to do for Foreign Fridays, but I sure hope you joined us for Eagle Farm for the past Friday. We had some really nice winners in that set. I think using the second pick, and first pick, or maybe second pick, first pick, and not necessarily in that order. They had a 20-cent pick 4, Charles, that paid like $137 using the top 2 picks, and I think in 2 or 3 races, and the top choice in the other 1 or 2. And I think the one top choice, and the 1 horse in that last race paid over $20. So that was pretty nice. I'll take that. And if I remember correctly, Tom, I think said we're going to go back to Hong Kong. So keep an eye out for all that. It's always a lot of fun. And the best place to make sure you don't miss any of the stuff that we're doing, you see down there below on X, on Facebook, on Instagram, TikTok, Rumble, wherever else in the world there's social media. Horse Race, the number 2 day, Horse Race Today. While you're here on YouTube, hey, you know what? Today's a good day to start getting good habits. Only 1 out of 10 people hit the subscribe button. So be part of that 1 out of 10. Don't be like the 9 out of the 10. Be in the upper 10%. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the share button. Put it up on your social sites, though. The folks in your circle of influence that like horse racing, learn all about Charles, Terry, Thomas, and of course, myself. And the wonderful work that we do around here. Because all this data that you get, Charles, you can't get anywhere else.
That's right.
All right. Race number 2 is off and running. And right now, it looks like the 1 horse is decided to get to the lead. Anka, which is kind of interesting because that wasn't in there. The 2 horse, Creative Copy, is right in there as well. To that outside is the 4 horse. Charles, our 5 horse, is in fourth place, right? Yeah, so he's going to have to work. 47-2. So for the length of this race, not the quickest of the opening quarters at all, opening halves at all. These other horses are going to have their work cut out to get by this 1 horse, Charles, at 22-1. I think our 5 horse might be. He's going to have to bump down to the end. He's gone inside. The jockey's made the right move. He's moving all right. I don't know. He seems to have found his stride. Yeah, I think the 5 horse will run by at the end here and be your winner. But it's going to be closer than it should be. He's going to come out and try to corral him. I don't think he's going to get him, Charles. Yep, he got him at the very end. 5, 1, 4, 6. 5, 1, 4, and 6 for the for you and I, right?
That's right. Well, I had the win bet plus started that little pick 4.
Yeah, and we both sold up the 5 horse to start the pick 4.
Mm-hmm.
I hit my $2 double. So my $6 bet turned into a $10.60. I made 75% in about 20 minutes. And as our good friend Terry says, where else can you make 75% in 20 minutes, my friend?
That's right. That'd
Too
be
bad we can't do that at the banks.
yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, it would be nice.
Or even
All right.
in the stock market.
Well, you can do it in the stock market for sure, but you're going to
But
have
you
some
really got
inside
to pay.
information, right?
Yeah,
You're going to have to work for Congress to get those kind of returns.
exactly.
Unfortunately, right? They should
You
not
said
be
that.
allowed. They should
By
not
the
be allowed
way,
to trade.
to the government, Rich said that one, not me.
Yes, I know. Yeah, right. Now they're going to be not. Will Smith is going to show up at my door and pretend that I'm Chris Rock, and then after he whacks me, he's going to use that stick to erase my memory.
Yeah.
Race number 6, Charles, as we get back on track. What's going on there?
Race number 6 is 1 mile. Claiming price of $15,000. Purse is $28,000. This is for fillies, mares, 3-year-olds, and upward, which have never won a race since September the 18th, or which have never won 4 races.
Oh, yeah, I've missed that part down there. All right, so you got multi-winners in here in all likelihood. Charles, race number 6 at a mile. Sort of horse that typically wins, has early speed. 35% of the time they go wire to wire. Post positions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. All pretty fair. But, man, if you happen to wear that pink 8, what was it, like aqua blue for the 9, purple 10, you're in a whole lot of trouble because those outside post positions get hammered. In race number 6, we only have a 7-horse field after 3 scratches. So, fortunately for the 8, 9, and 10, that doesn't come into play. Charles, Flash Dynamite, he's pretty happy about that.
Yeah, that 9 does have a 37% chance of getting that lead at the quarter pole. The 5 might have a say in that. I personally think the 5 is going to get the lead, but that's how I see it. When it comes to simulation odds, we have the 3 at slightly over 2-1. We have 3-1 morning line. The 4 at 7-1 and 8-1 morning line. And that's it.
And the 2 horses in here, the 3 and the 5, scoring out with the only 2 horses with the scratches with a shot to go over par in here. And then the comfort zone horses, you got 4 of them in here. The 4, the 5, the 8, and the 9 should be really comfortable with the pace today, matching some of their winning efforts in there. The horse that does have the most across the board here is that 5 horse, Obstinate. Going to have a good shot to be on the lead, really comfortable up there. Good chance to be par or better, or at least a decent shot anyway. And pretty fair odds, maybe a little bit underpriced at 4-1 or overpriced at 4-1. In the 6th race, our race shape, again, nobody really wants to get to the lead here, Charles. The 1 horse that might, because the 3 horse has an EP, so he can be the front runner if he so chooses. But it does look like the 5 horse, Obstinate, 1 length faster than the 3 horse, although I'm not so sure he'll use that speed because he's a PC type. I think maybe holds on to a little bit for the later part of the race. Where Heartlight, a little bit quicker than the rest. But looking here, Charles, all of them within about a length of one another in terms of late speed. So I would imagine early on, you probably want to be middle forward because everybody will be moving at about the same pace at the end of the race. The 5 horse Obstinate is about a length better than everybody else on total pace. Again, pretty packed up in here, except for maybe Peach Perfect, which makes me so sad. My chubby blonde girlfriend, my Labrador, her name is Peach. I would really like to see her at the top of the heap there. Charles, who did you put at the top of your heap?
Well, I put the 3. This horse ran even last time out. Drops in class today. Does have that tactical speed to sit 2nd or 3rd. Pennington's aboard. So there's a lot of good things to like about that horse. The 5, which I think is the speed of the race. 2nd start after a layoff. Trainer gets 19% when he takes him from a sprint to a route. And then the 10, another one that has that tactical speed, sit there about 3rd or so. Got a hot trainer last 14 days with this horse. The horse won last time out. And then the 9 drops in class. If you toss the last one out, puts this horse right there. You got a hot jockey the last 7 days. And I did a pick 5 here. And I just hit the all button. Get out of this race because I think this is where you could probably get a price. And it's one of those races that almost anyone can win.
I like yeah, and we saw that sort of in our race shape here, right? They're all bunched up in there. So I agree with you. I have the 5 horse in there, Obstinate. That's the horse I think in this race now with the scratches coming out. Maybe a little too much early speed with all the other scratches in there. Going to make its second start after a layoff. And in this second start, going to drop in class, which should kind of speed that horse up a little bit even more. Princess Sophie, the 3 horse, also going to drop in class. But this is the first start after a layoff. This one tends to run pretty well off the bench, Charles. And I think the trainer has decided to put it in at the right distance. It's run 7 times at a mile, won 5 of them, Charles, with a third mixed in there. No other distance has a horse been anywhere near as effective. Number 10, Jolene. Jolene ran the top last race speed figure. In all of the race internals were better across the board. That horse should be competitive too. And then finally, the 9 horse, Flash and Dynamite, was a really hard call over me from my lovely dog, Peach Perfect. But this one I think has a better chance to be forwardly placed, going to drop in class in its second start after a layoff. And this horse has run 26 times at Parx, Charles. He's won half of them, 13. So definitely likes to run at that track. 50-cent trifecta, 3-5-10 over to 3-5 over to 3-5. Of course, I put my heart in there, Peach, and then the 9 and the 10 for my trifecta. Race 7 is the beginning of the late pick 4. Charles, I'm sure you and I will have some thoughts on that. I know I do. What are they doing here?
Yeah, 6.5 furlongs. This is an allowance race of 41,000. Non-winners of 1. Purses 41,000. This is for Pennsylvania bred fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won a pencil bred.
Well, pencil bread. It's really good for cheeseburgers with bacon.
Yeah, I guess that would be
yes,
Pennsylvania race, restricted race, other than maiden, claiming, starter. So that's it.
6.5 furlongs does favor a little bit of early speed. Third of the time, you get to the front and you win. Post positions 1, 2, and 3, a little bit of a small bonus. 4 through 7, a little bit of a discount. And then 8 and out, a little bit of a small bonus. There's no deal makers or breakers post position wise at 6.5 furlongs. Charles, once again, speed could play a role, and one of them looks faster than all of the rest.
Yeah, the 1. That's 69% chance of getting the lead. There might be another horse in here. Maybe the 7 might get the lead, but I really do think that 1 wants it and will probably take it, and it'll be tough to catch too, probably. The simulation odds, we have the 7 at 5-1, and it's 8-1 morning line.
And the 7 right now with the scratches, the only one with a 1 in 20 chance to run a par plus or better. Maybe a little better than 1 in 20. Also, you're probably going to sit second in there, Charles, based upon the early pace numbers in here. That 4 horse, Wishing on a Prayer, sort of a Bon Jovi horse, but by far the best C-zone score. Our race shape for the opener, look at that 8 horse over there, your lone E, Charles. If you can get to the front and you're a lone E type, you got a pretty good crack at it. Although the early speed does say that the 1 horse, Coco's Vivian, is a length quicker than Always Mia. So maybe those 2 go forward, or maybe they just sit patiently, let the 8 go out there, the goddess of snakes. Great name for a horse. Would that be Medusa, the goddess of snakes?
Yes.
Ginger's Wish, that horse, the 3 horse, Charles, the closer. 10-point advantage, so about a 2-length edge over the rest of the field. The only problem is it'll probably be 4 or 5 lengths off the leaders. So those horses are going to have to back up a lot for that one to go by at the end. But it could. You never know, especially if they all go out and burn themselves out. And then Coco's Vivian, Always Mia, Sugar Smile. They're about a length better than the rest of the field. So those 3 better than the back 3 in there, Charles. 172 for an exacta trifecta box, if that's your thing for total pace. We both think the 1 is likely to be the winner.
Yeah, I mean, I really do like the 1 here. This horse ran even last time out. Trainer gets 21% overall. So does the jockey. This horse is bred for this. Does have that. It doesn't really have to have the lead, but I really think this horse will get the lead. So it's going to be tough to catch, especially at the end of this race. My second choice here is the 3. This horse ran third last time out. Trainer gets 20% first after the claim, and another 20% when he takes him from a route to a sprint. The 2 ran even last time. He got a hot jockey last 7 days aboard. Kind of has that tactical speed, so he can sit second or third. If there's someone wants to back up, he can make a move. Then there's that 7 is my final choice. This horse has speed, also just like the 1, but I just think the 1's going to pull clear. The horse won last time out. Trainer gets 21% at first after the claim, but I'm going to go and exact the box 1-3. I still think it's like a 2-horse, possibly a 3-horse race, but I'll take 2 horses.
I'm going to start with the 1 horse too, Cocos Vian. I'm looking for this horse to rebound in his 3rd career start. Does have a solid workout between races and a good shot to be up on the front today. Always Mia, the 7, 4 consecutive speed figure increases in a row. We've talked about the significance of that. Resume says that the 3rd race after a layoff, which she'll be making today, will look a lot like the 2nd. And trainer Stephen Krebs. This is the first time off a claim for him on this horse. Normally, he wins about 5% overall, so not the winningest trainer in that regard. But first off the claim, he's winning at 21%. Significant alpha. So it looks like he's good at picking the horses. Goddess of Snakes, this one ran better across the board with all of its race internals last time out, including more early speed. I do like to see when horses improve early because next time out, that tends to carry through the track. The last time the horse did a similar thing, came back to win. Number 3, Ginger's Wish ran the top last race. Speed figures showed brilliant late speed in its last. First off the claim, another alpha angle, 20% versus 13% overall for trainer Robert Moscow. 50-cent pick 4. I'm going to go to all my 4 horses in here, Charles. The 1, the 7, and the 8 with the 4, 5, 7. In race number 9, I'm going to solo up the 1 horse and then go 1, 2, 4, and 11 in the back end. Race 8, Charles, 3 to go. Let's start with number 8.
Number 8. The 8th race is a claiming price of $40,000. Purse is $35,000. This is for 3-year-olds and upward, which have not won a race since September the 18th, for claiming prices of $25,000 or less, not considered, or which have never won 4 races.
Christopher D'Souza back in race number 7, 4-3-1 in the exacta trifecta box. Forgot to mention Terry in race number 7. We have his picks as well. Scratch is kind of changing his picks around a little bit. So in race number 7, our friend Terry likes the 1, the 3, the 2, and the 4. Let's talk about race number 8, 6 furlongs, profile of a winner. Tactical speed does good, but still 37% of the time. If you get the lead, you keep the lead all the way to the winner's circle. Post positions are mostly fair, especially 1 through 7. You get a little bit of an extra edge if you wear an 8 or higher. That's not going to be a problem in race number 8, Charles, because there are only 4 horses off the scratches.
Yeah, there's only 4 horses here, so.
And one of those 4 looks to be much faster than the rest.
Yes, that's 7 at 68, 69. You might as well put it at 100 because this horse is going to break out in front, and that should be it.
You just jinxed that horse.
No, I did not. This horse should just go out there now and just see.
Just don't run the race. The other one should just concede.
Yeah, they should. Yeah, they should just give it to the 7. Let him go on back to the barn, and the others race it out. Now I really did jinx him now.
Yeah, you did.
The 5 simulation odds is the odds are not going to really matter now. They are going to change tremendously. But you got slightly over even money. You got 5-1 morning line there.
And that 5 horse is scary, Charles. Look at that. He's got the par plus, only one with that. It's tops his own score in there as well. So maybe that 7 does get off to that lead and make it difficult for the rest to catch. Let's see over here. The 7 does look like the pace horse. Everybody else wants to be middle back. Should be no excuses for the 7 today, Charles. I don't think. None. He's got an 8-point advantage over Violent Turbulence. So he should get to the lead, should be able to do so with some reasonable fractions. If he doesn't, though, Gbert and Violent Turbulence. Look at the G-Bert's late pace in there, Charles. And I got a feeling he's not going to be as far off the pace today as you might think. Total pace does favor Violent Turbulence more than a length quicker than the rest of the field. I think it really, in this short field, I really think that speed's going to make a difference for the 7, Charles. But I worry a little bit about multiple horses in here.
I couldn't be, because when you have 4 horses, it's either you hit the all button or you select one when you're doing a pick 4, pick 5, or even a 6, pick 6. So I hit just the 1 horse, which is the 7. This horse has got speed, like we said. This is third start after a layoff. Trainer gets 13% with that angle. All I can say is, it's his race to lose, period. The 4 ran third last time out. The trainer gets 12%, second after the claim. Definitely will be closing, but I think it's going to be too little too late. The 5 has some tactical speed, kind of fits with them. And the 2, well, someone's got to finish 4th. That's how I look at it.
Oh, my Lord. Now I know for sure Charles is plagiarizing, because my notes for the 2 horse in there, someone has to be 4th of 4. Well, go ahead, man. Terry doesn't have the 7 horse at all in his picks, to be honest. He's looking at Terry's picks right here for the for race number 8. He's got the 4 horse G-Bert first, and then the 3, and then the 2. I'm sure the 7th would be his 4th pick, but he didn't put him in
3
there.
scratch, so.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, so the 2, so it would be 2 and then 7. So Terry would go 4, 3, 2. 4, 3. No, 4. All right, Richard. He would go 4, 8. 4, 8. What the hell am I doing today? He would go 4. What does he got? 4? Yeah, he's got the 4 and then the 2. And then I don't know how he would put the 5 and 7 in that mix. All right. Now that I've confused, how can you confuse yourself over 4 horses? I have no idea. Anyway, I do agree with you, Charles. Magic in the Moonlight, I think, probably has a little bit too much early speed for the rest of the catch, especially in a short field. Very consistent performer, should be at top to peak form in third start after a layoff. G-Bert ran the top last race speed figure, and here's why I don't think that horse will be as far off the pace today. Kendrick Carmouche coming in from the Naira circuit for 1 mount today, Charles. This is it. He's coming in wet, ugly snow to run when a 4 horse race, my man. He'll push that horse forward, and with that late pace could be dangerous. Violent Turbulence, very good chance that this horse moves up in its second after a layoff. Is our sim favorite in here, Charles. Only par plus in the field. I think those 3 horses probably have the best shot of winning in here, which means Kozin won. The both we just dismissed and made 4th. That one's your winner, folks.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a $6 double, the 7 over the 1, Mr. Charles. But I do in my pick 4. Remember, I went 3 deep in that race, which is all the more reason to believe.
And my pick 5. In my pick 5, I just singled out the 7. I said, if I can't beat 3 horses, then I don't deserve to win a pick 5.
Well, that could be. All right, Charles. We're going to go off to the opener of the late daily double in that race number 9.
Race number 9, 6.5 furlongs, optional claiming of 16,000, non-winners of 1, purse is 50,000. That's a really good purse for this level. For 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won a race other than maiden, claiming starter, or state bred, which have never won 2 races or claiming price of 16,000.
Cold Feet not in for a price. You see no 16 there. Are any of these in for a price, Charles? None of them are for sale today. Only Iconic Legacy is in for a sale price today. So if you wanted to buy Iconic Legacy, you see in the Brisnet, and we don't get anything for Brisnet. It just happens to be who we use, both for past performances, the hard sheets like this, as well as the data that we're using for all of our calculations. So Brisnet, sponsor us today, because we're doing more with your data than you are, damn it. All right. 6.5 furlongs, Mr. Charles. Early speed does pretty well. In fact, 33% of the time it goes wire to wire. Small bonus for post positions 1, 2, and 3. Small discount 4, 5, 6, and 7. Small bonus 8. Now, again, no deal makers or breakers, but speed could be helpful in race number 9, Charles. And boy, you mentioned a couple races ago you wanted to put a 100 on one. Maybe we should put a 100 on this one too.
The one at 98, 99%. Yeah, this is another one that, it's got lots and lots of speed. I don't know who could challenge the horse, honestly. Maybe the eight. The eight does have good tactical speed. The eight could sit close, but I really think the one will be out there winging. The eight's going to be sitting second. That's how I see it. When it comes to simulation odds, we have the one at just slightly over even money. You got 2.5 to 1, and then the eight, of course, itself, almost the same thing, slightly over even money, and 8 to 1 morning line. So there's a nice overlay on the eight.
Yeah, the 1 and 8 look like they're going to go out first and second based upon the early speed numbers in here. Both have great C-zone scores, both great par plus scores. The 8 horse doing a little bit better than the 1 in that regard. Probably 8-1 in terms of that respect. As far as our race shape is concerned, 1, 2, 4. The 8 is a lone PC in there, so maybe a tactical advantage over the 1. The 1 might have to compete with some others early on, but it doesn't really look like that on according to early speed pace numbers in here, Charles. 1 length advantage over the 8. So the 8's still going to have all these other horses inside that are pretty similar pace numbers. I don't think the 8 will challenge for the lead. The 1 probably gets out to the lead. And that is some stakes level early speed in there, Charles. As they come around the stretch for home, Mr. Roundtree, Bronx Boys, all of them pretty tightly mixed in there, these two anyway. And then everybody else in here pretty close to one another. Total pace, looks like this race is pretty wide open, Charles. 3 of them standing out above the rest. The 8 horse, the lone PC, actually getting a little bit of an edge over the 1 and the 3. So this race on paper looks like, does the 1 get out and nobody catch it? Or does it run a little bit too quick? And a couple of others that are competitive from a total pace perspective kind of eke by it at the end. What do you think?
Well, I mean, I really think the top 3 are the strong. My top 3 are the strongest horses for this race. The 8, I'm choosing as my first one. Like I said, I think this one's going to be sitting second pretty much all the way around the track until the end. I think this one can catch the 1. The 8 won last 2 times, was well bet last time. So, I mean, there's a lot of great things about this 8 that right there. And plus, it's a nice little overlay, too. So, the 1 is my second choice. Like we said, speed. Is anybody going to catch it? Well, I think the 8 will, but this horse finished second last time out. Another one that was well bet last time, too. So, they're both going to be tough, but I think the 8 will get this 1. The 3 is the question here. The horse won last time out, has 5 pounds off today. You got that jockey is also hot for the last 7 days. And this horse totally fits with this group. So there's the question mark of the whole race, in my opinion, is the 3. And then the 6 is my price horse, if you want to call it. Ran second last time out. Tactical speed, it'd be sitting 4th or 5th. Does fit with this group, but I think the top 3 are very tough to beat.
I think the 1 horse is going to be really hard to beat, Charles, for a couple of reasons. 1, this horse should be on the front.
Yes.
We saw that with those pace numbers as well as our simulations. But what's crazy is the advantage that it has in the opening quarter. That advantage actually gets bigger when you look at the mid-pace numbers here. If you take a look at this 1 horse, if you look at these late pace numbers in here, they go up. So I think this horse is going to have the lead at the quarter mile and then widen its lead going into the turn, Charles. Question is, can anybody run it down as they come home? Does it do its legs wobble and everybody else kind of inch by at the end? Number 8, Young Squire, did run the top last race speed figure. Charles' resume says that the second after the layoff will probably look a whole lot like the first one. And what I like about that horse is it can win, Charles, from the front or the back. So it's not lead dependent, which is a plus, I think, in this race. Bronx Boys, the 3 horse, very consistent performer. Maiden special weight win last time out. But again, one of those horses with a high floor, low ceiling, so far hasn't shown that it can bust out of that box with a little bit of upside. Finally, and last time out was the first time it ran at 6.5 furlongs and actually scored that maiden special weight win. And then finally, number 2, C Trident, 3 consecutive speed figure increases in a row. All of its race internals last time from the beginning to the middle to the end improved and should continue to be sharp as it had a maintenance workout in between races. Keep the edge of the saw sharp. You don't see me do this very often, Charles, but $18 to win on the 1. I hope I didn't overspend. Terry would likely let me know if I did. Terry in race number 9, speaking of which, he likes the one horse as well, over to 1385 for Terry. And our good friend Christopher D'Souza says he's got a daily double in race number 8, the 5 with the 4 for $10 in race number 9. Likes the 4 with the 1-6 exacta trifecta box. Terry's picks for race number 6. Terry in race number 6 likes, not Charles, is that how do we take that? He likes the 3, the 4, the 9, and the 5 in race number 6 for Terry. And race number 3 is off and running right now. Charles, the 7 horse, Lazarito, one of the 2 that we thought would have a good shot to get to the lead, is on the lead. The 4 horse right now, Cousin Andrew, is in a comfortable second, although the 5 horse, Satchel de Riches, is starting to move on him to the outside as he bounds up as they go through the opening quarter in 23-1. 7 continues to be your leader, 47-3 through the opening half. They're coming through the turn to make their way home. Charles, the 4 horse. Ooh, where did he sneak through at 14-1? Did you see that move there, Charles?
Yeah, but watch out for the 1 now. The
1 and the 2 are charging through there. It looks to me like the 2 horse is going to be your winner, my man. Well, I don't know. The 1 horse is right in there too. So it's going to go 1 and then 2 and then 4. 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 4, and then the 6. 1, 2, 4, and 6. The 3 horse in there. J.W. Paco did not get the win in that one. And for what it's worth, the sun just came out there too. So a little bit of sunshine. So the 1 horse, the George Thoroughbred horse, the one that we both had as our top pick, Bad, coming home as the winner. And what's interesting about that, Charles, was 2-1 morning line, right?
Mm-hmm.
We like that. And then in here, we saw that our simulation odds were 6-5, essentially. So 2-1, even though it was the favorite or one of the favorites, it was the favorite, along with the 6 horse in there, Mischievous One, still offered some value to bettors, almost twice the value from what our sim odds says. It was the horse with the strongest par plus. So the 2 horse from a straight win bet would have made a lot of sense off of those stats. Off to the last race we go. Let's see. Obtuse Man hit a bad start last time out, to be fair. Yeah. And you're talking about race number 9. I think that's where Obtuse Allen, our good friend from England. All right, Charles, one more race for you and me to start the new week. Obviously, next Monday, Christmas Day, we won't be here, but we'll be back on Tuesday. I think Tuesday's card, if I remember correctly, Charles, a bunch of big races at Santa Anita the day after Christmas, right? I think they got 5 stakes races today.
Yeah.
And we're actually going to have a wagering guide as our holiday gift to everybody out there. Unfortunately, it won't be free, but still we'll put a lot of legwork in for all those picks. So make sure you tune in for that. Long before we get there, though, we're going to do race 10 today at Parx. Charles, final time today to share with us the conditions.
Okay, 6 furlongs. Claiming price is $7,500. Non-winners of 3 life. Purse is $21,000. 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 3 races.
6 furlongs again. Tactical speed 37% of the time. Wire to wire. Post positions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. They play mostly fair. The rail and 8 and out. They get a little bit of a bonus over the rest of the field, but not significant, Charles. So if the 1 or the outside horses have some speed, you're in good shape. And it does look like, once again, Charles, we have 1 on the inside that fits. Going to be up front.
Yeah, 94% chance for that 1 to have the lead. You know, I think there's other speed horses in here, but probably most likely that's going to be your leader. The probably the 4 is another one that could be up front, and even the 10 has a shot at it. So, but the 1 most likely will have the lead at the core pole for sure. When it comes to simulation odds, we have the 2 at 2, just almost 3-1, and it's 8-1 morning line. We have the 5 at slightly over 2-1, and we have 4-1 morning line. We have the 9 at just over 8-1, and we have 15-1 morning line. The 10, 3-1, and 5-1 morning line. Now we had a race with all these overlays.
And then we got a bunch of strong C-zone scores in here too. I mean, when you see a horse that has a big shot like that to get to the lead and be comfortable up there, we've seen way too many of those win at the outside. A lot of comfort with the pace there too. A lot of horses in the final race, probably pretty much wide open. We see a Sesame Street horse in here again, Charles, the 11 horse. Chip's Friend being the lone PC type. Just from a visual standpoint, most of the horses want to be middle back. So if the one or the two can get an easy lead, Charles, they might be able to run away with this race, get up to the front and steal it. And Almond Cider has a 10-point early speed advantage over everybody else. That's 2 lengths, Charles. That horse should pop out of the gate minus a misstep or a stumble. And everybody at some point to win is going to have to likely pass the one horse. A lot of them will have a chance because you can see there's plenty of late pace with these 5 horses in here. Chip's Friend, the lone PC horse, being one with the most late speed, along with Bodo. And they're about a length and a quarter quicker at the end than the rest of them. Top total pace horse is that lone PC, Chip's Friend, which is 6 points clear of the rest of the field. So Chip's Friend maybe runs 5th or 6th, turns on the jets as they come down the stretch as the lone PC and maybe takes home the prize. You don't have him on your picks. I have him on the top, Charles, but you do like the 4.
I do like that 4. There's a couple of reasons. Last 3 races, this horse's speed ratings have gone up every time in a row. Ran 2nd last time out. This horse does have that tactical speed to make one big run at it. So I think this is probably more or less the now horse for this group. The 3 is my second choice. 1 last time out. Hot jockey last 7 days. 5 pounds off. So that always does help. And this horse will be closing at the end. The 5 ran even last 2 times. This one will be closing also. Scott Lake, the trainer, gets 14%. This that trainer's better than those numbers. So he's always sends them out ready to rock and roll. Then the 7 is my final choice here. Has some tactical speed.
But he's not running today. He's scratched.
Oh, the 7 is? Oh, well then.
Do you have a replacement?
No, not really.
No. All right, so scratch that. Show
yeah, just scratch it anyway.
So Terry likes the 4 horse. Modern Midas is his top pick. He agrees with Charles. And he's got the 10 trophy room horse neither one of us have in there, Charles, but the Sim likes that one as well. 5 horse Candyman. He's back to agreement with you. So far, I don't agree with him on 1. Bodio, the 2 horse. There we got some agreement. That's Terry's 4th choice. It's also the top choice for our English friend over there, Mr. Allen. He has the 2 horse as his top pick, stating that the horse there last time out, a lot closer than he was in his debut, and will kick on home in the straight as the race comes to a close. Christopher D'Souza, he's got the 3, 10, and 2. So a whole lot of different opinions in this race, Charles. The most important of which, of course, is mine.
Oh, is that what it is?
I have the 11 horse, Charles. Chip's Friend is that lone PC horse. Does have the top total pace by more than a length over the rest of them, and all of the race internals were better. So everything's shaping up for Chip's Friend at a nice price there, perhaps. The 4 horse one we all sort of agree on should be towards the top last race speed figure. Gonna be closing, Charles. Would have liked to see some speed out of that one. Bodo, the one that I myself like, and Terry likes 4th, the only one we agree on, and Alan likes as well as his top choice. Did tie for the top last race speed figure, just missed in his last. Getting a weight break today could be the difference in the second start off or layoff. And then the 1 horse, Almond Cider. I think this one just might have too much early speed in this race, Charles, for the rest to run down. He gets a 2-length lead. If he can run an opening quarter in 23 and change, they might never catch that one. 2, 4, 11 over to 4, 11 over the 1, 2, 4, 5, 11 is my trifecta to end the day at Parx. Our full picks for the race card are here. I think that so far it's gone 1-5-1, Charles. So your second pick and then our top pick winning the next 2. Let's hope we can make our way through the rest of the card like that, Charles. 10 for 10 with the top pick. Have you ever done that, Charles?
10 for 10, no. I've done like 7 out or 8 out of 10, yes, with my top pick.
I had a Delaware Park where earlier this year, where I think they had a 9-race card. I won the first 8 on top, and a lot of them were like favorites.
Yeah,
a lot of them weren't like morning line favorites. They were post-time favorites. They got bet down. And then in the last race, I had the second place horse. My second pick won. So I was Would have been, it's the only day I can remember where I almost top picked the card all the way down. Tomorrow, Charles and I, again, will be back for Parx again about 10 minutes before post. How you doing today, Bozid? Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. Looks like he's on the other side of the planet. No matter where you are, do us a big favor. Tell your friends about us. If you're on Twitter, hit the retweet button. We'd appreciate that, of course. If you haven't done so on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, hit the share button, copy and paste that into your social sites, share that with your friends, and follow us down there below so you get some great stuff as well in there. It looks like race 3, he likes the 7-horse. Neither one of us has that 7-horse, Charles. Well, race 3 is kind of over, my friend, so I'm not quite sure what we know the 1-horse one.
Yeah.
All right. Any final thoughts, Charles, before you and I get out of here?
No, that's about it. Like I always say, it's sale time, auction time. So I'm gonna be heading out to the sale in January, the 8th, I think it is. Yeah, it's the 8th.
And where's that at? Keeneland?
It's at Keeneland. It's for horses of all racing ages. So you could get a mare that's in full, a 2-year-old, 3-year-old, a yearling. So it's a good rate. Plus people could, if they just want to go and learn things, hey, look me up. My email.
Big Casino, right?
Racing. Big Casino Racing at gmail.com. So
if you have any horse racing questions, reach out to Charles too. He's happy to hear from somebody instead of mummering to himself all day long like I do.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, of course. So no matter what it is you're doing for the rest of this day as you prepare for the holiday week coming up, doing that last minute shopping like I will. I always do it at the last moment. No matter what you're doing for the rest of this day till we get back together again, we certainly hope that you have God's grace, God's favor in every single thing that you do from now until the time we get back together again. Charles ends up in
the winner's circle.
Indeed. Thanks for joining us. Charles and I look forward to spending time with you again tomorrow. Have a great Monday.